Don't forget to check out our sponsor, The Health Blaze, at thehealthblaze.com. 100% all natural products from lotions, soaps, foot soaks, bath bombs, and much, much more. Use the promo code Goodfella1Boxing. Tell them your boy CJ Goodfella sent you. Get 18% off. We out. All right, man, we back. Goodfella Sports TV and Yordenis Ugas. I seen this last night. Called out Errol, Spence, Shawn Porter for a rematch, Crawford, and Manny Pacquiao. Okay, he basically saying that, you know, Spence has been ducking him for 2 years. I think that is, depends on how you look at it. But let's get into it. That subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. We know we all about the facts, all right? A lot of motherfuckers, you know, they leave out a lot of facts. They read an interview and they take a portion and they spin a narrative. Like I said before, when you on YouTube, it's no longer about facts. It's no longer about being real. It's all about whoever cater to what you believe in or what you want to believe in. We don't create the narrative, right? We don't change the narrative. The narrative is what the narrative is, and we just play off that. So, but he talked about Errol Spence, and I put the manuscript one because he's speaking in Spanish. I think my man's just trying to translate. But he's speaking about Errol Spence, and he jumped out the IBF to go to the WBC. I don't know what that issue, what the problem was. They was lining up Errol Spence for Yordenis Ugas, and Ugas just, you know, you have to ask him. He is active on Twitter. He just jumped out the WBC, out the IBF to jump into the WBC. People forget that. So I don't know if it was Al Heyman saying that's the route you need to go, and we don't want to, you know, how you fight Errol Spence. Is he a bad style for Errol Spence, man? I don't know. He's one of those few welterweights that can match Errol Spence's physicality. He just don't throw enough punches, though. He can utilize the ring. You know, he got that Cuban style that they not going to throw more than 3 punches at a time. I still would favor Errol Spence to get the job done. Could he stop Ugas? I'm not sure Ugas ever been stopped before. He a big, strong welterweight. I mean, you know, he gave Shawn Porter some problems. I think everybody seen him drop Shawn Porter, and it didn't count. Everybody want to talk about the Kovaleski's Porter thing. I mean, you can go to the Zab and Floyd Mayweather thing. There's been a lot of knockdowns that haven't counted over the course of a career. But, you know, I still would favor Errol Spence to get the job done at his best before the accident. Sharp jab. You know, he another guy that don't throw a lot of punches at a time. He a single shot thrower. You know, he can throw his combinations together, but they don't flow. His combinations don't flow like that. But he throw the land. He don't use no throwaway punches. And the great fighters, the great offensive fighters that set shit up, the thinkers, the methodical fighters, they do throwaway punches. You know what I'm saying? They throw punches that's not intended to land, but it's setting up something else. And that's kind of something Errol Spence haven't really figured out in boxing yet. How to throw those setup shots, no throwaway shots. But that wouldn't be no issue versus Yordenis Ugas. I think, you know, it'll be a good fight. Ugas did dog Delorme. You know, he did show some dog in there with Shawn Porter. He dogged Omar Figueroa. But those are not guys that's on Errol Spence level when he at the best. Errol Spence is an elite welterweight. He's one of 3 elite welterweights. It's him, Manny Pacquiao, and Crawford. So, you know, like I said before, Ugas is a good fighter, but I just think it's levels to it. And then he called out Spence, he called out Pacquiao. I mean, ain't no point in spending no time talking on that. Pacquiao not fighting no Ugas. You know what I'm saying? It makes no sense. The money's not there. It's not a pay-per-view fight. His pay-per-view numbers are already funny with guys like Keith Thurman and guys like Adrian Broner, who are more known commodities than Yordenis Ugas. So it just don't even make no sense to talk about it. I mean, you know, why would Pacquiao risk it versus Ugas? You know, somebody that's physically strong, that's a physical welterweight. He may not be the biggest puncher, and if he can punch, he'd probably be one of the most. He'd probably be in the elite welterweight category, but he can't punch. And people forget Ugas has lost four times. He lost to, you know, a couple guys I ain't heard of, and he lost to Amir Khan, but that was long ago. And it seemed that since he got with Al, he got his training together. One of the guys he got robbed by, I believe. Can't remember which one it was. But as far as him fighting Manny Pacquiao, come on, that ain't even need to be discussed. That ain't even a fight that's on Manny Pacquiao, you know, agenda. You know, it's either fight Mikey Garcia, you know, or doing something else with the other champions, Unified, Errol Spence, and WBO Terence Crawford, you know, or whatever money fight like Conor McGregor presents itself. So you ain't even no point in talking about him fighting no goddamn Manny Pacquiao. You know what I'm saying? Pacquiao's a good fighter, but it's an unnecessary risk that don't bring a necessary reward. And that's the God honest truth. So he can call out Pacquiao all you want to. Get in line behind Errol, get in line behind Terence, get in line behind Manny, Keith, you know, and the rest of the welterweights in the division. Okay. All right. He talked about fighting Shawn, calling out Shawn Porter. Okay. He want that rematch, but with Shawn Porter gonna risk, you know, rematching for a world title? No, he not gonna. He ain't gonna, you know, end up slipping out the Manny Pacquiao sweepstakes or out the Errol Spence sweepstakes. No, he's not gonna risk that fighting Yordenis Ugas at all. You know, the first time they said they switched it up right before they came to the ring, and Kenny told Shawn to box. I didn't really understand that. I thought Shawn would come towards Ugas, and maybe he thought that Shawn, you know, coming to Ugas' wheelhouse. Ugas is a good counterpuncher like most Cuban fighters is, and that wasn't the game plan. But a smart trainer, a formidable trainer, don't tell they fighter to switch the game plan up as they walk into the ring. No, nobody. You might imagine Custom Model telling fucking Mike Tyson to switch it up. No, you know. So at the end of the day, that wasn't a smart decision. But nobody's perfect. Shawn Porter should have fought his fight. Whatever they worked on in the gym, whatever Plan A was. If Plan A didn't work, then they should have switched to Plan B. But you don't wait till y'all walk to the ring and say, hey, switch it up. No. You know, I was wondering why Shawn Porter was dancing around the ring and trying to use lateral movement versus Ugas. You know, he just didn't. He looked bad because we used to Shawn Porter being the aggressor. And, you know, Ugas mentioned that his biggest win was over Thomas Delorme, and because it was a 10-day notice. He had 10 days to prepare for that fight, and people forget who was Thomas Delorme supposed to fight. It was Shawn Porter on the Conor McGregor Floyd Mayweather undercard on the prelim card on Fox. So his greatest win became because Shawn Porter pulled out with a family tragedy. But as him fighting Shawn Porter, could he beat him? Yeah, he could beat Shawn Porter. Shawn Porter, one of those dudes who he can match his Ugas can match his physicality. But the problem is, you know, with Shawn Porter fighting Ugas again, he risking it all. He risking, you know, title shots. They got him lined up to rematch probably every welterweight that they got. That's been a champion or a former champion or whatever. He lined up to rematch Errol, Keith, Danny. He don't want to mess that up, you know. And him and Ugas couldn't sell out a family diner. People forget that. They was giving away floor tickets for that fight, so it don't sell unless it'll be part of somebody undercard. And is Shawn Porter willing to take a pay cut? Is he willing to take a pay cut to fight Yordenis Ugas? You know what I'm saying? On the undercard? No. So Ugas not gonna get that fight at all. It just doesn't make economic sense. Now I'm gonna tell you one fight that does make economic sense is Ugas versus Crawford, because they can do that without fans in the stands, and what Ugas is getting paid, you know, what Ugas is getting paid, they can pay that. The network can pay what Crawford wants, whatever it's 3.5 he getting, and they can pay Ugas like $1 million, $1.5 million to come over. That's not pay-per-view money, and they can do that in the studio or do it without an audience. So that's a fight that does make sense. He said he beat Crawford in the amateurs. I remember Bomac came on Trifling Boxing Talk with General Chow and Negro. He's really a Negro. Negro is dumb, is oblivious to the ways of the world and oblivious to the ways of being a black man. He don't know no better. You know, big dumb diddy nigga. Okay, that's why we call him Negro. If you don't have a clue. But that makes sense. That's actually a fight that makes sense. But the issue is he was supposed to fight Alexander Booz Putin before he had an adverse test, and before the adverse test came out for the regular WBA belt, Ugas said he was excited to get that opportunity from the WBA. And my people tell me that Al Heyman told him that he ain't crossing the street to fight Alexander Booz Putin. And he made him take the Mike Dallas fight on FS1 and promised him a world title shot down the line. Not in the immediate future, but in a distant future. Okay? So people talking about, oh, Ugas should cross over. It's a reason why, you know, after Felix Diaz and John Molina, not too many PBC fighters crossed over to fight Terence Crawford. PBC is not in the business of doing collaborations. They J. Cole. They say they not doing no more features. And they not, they ain't letting nobody feature on their album or the other album. But people just ignore stuff like of that nature, bro. Or they just ignorant. That's why I don't, like, people say, oh, what YouTube channels you? I don't watch none of these boxing channels, really. It's a select few guys that select few guys that I watch. Mostly the interview channels. You know what I'm saying? If it ain't like Town, I watch Mike on Sports. I watch his shit because he was the boxing voice. But other than that, man, I don't watch none of these niggas because they conveniently leave out the facts. And then when they wrong, they want to make excuses, man. We ain't about making excuses. We men over here. You know what I'm saying? We men. We own up to when we wrong. We own up to if we get it messed up, or the news get messed up, whatever it is. That's what we about. We about facts. And everybody ain't about facts. And that's just the God honest truth, man. And it's sad. But to continue on, yeah, he said that he beat him in the amateurs 26-10. Bomac acknowledged on Trifling Boxing Talk that Ugas did beat them. And Crawford want that fight again. Will it be different? Absolutely. The amateurs is different. You know what I'm saying? You talking about kids, you talking about grown men now. People say, Ugas may be too big for Crawford. So was Jeff Horn. You know what I'm saying? People forget Jeff Horn out-muscled Manny Pacquiao. Pacquiao probably would have stopped him if he would have put his Pacquiao special catch weight on Jeff Horn. But of course, people always want to say, oh, this guy too big. That guy, nigga, it's about skills, bro. A lot of times it's about skills. The real special guys can make up the difference in size. Don't forget, Ugas came up from 140. Ugas got beat up by Amir Ahman. People forget all this shit. Ray Robinson beat Crawford, and it was the last guy to beat Crawford in the amateurs. From Philadelphia. He just got beat up by Ugas. I mean, it's a fight that that's a studio type of fight, because the money is there for that fight. That's a no audience type of fight. Who I'm rolling with? Like both guys, but Crawford is a little bit different. Ugas ain't his output ain't he don't punch hard enough, and his output ain't great enough. That's the thing. His output ain't big enough. Everybody got this facade that PBC fighters are the best fighters. Man, a lot of them dudes ain't really been tested at all. They fighting each other. You know what I'm saying? That's like being the best neighborhood ball player, but you go on the east side or you go on the southwest side in Detroit and you see a better ball player. People say, oh, this guy, it ain't nothing but 3 elite welterweights. It's Pacquiao, Errol, Spence, and Terence Crawford. That's it. Keith Thurman, he be like right there, but we don't know what's left of him. Shawn Porter, he's an elite competitor, like my brother Banco Boxing say. Check his channel out. Danny Garcia, this motherfucker struggled with everybody. He damn near didn't fought at the division. Didn't dominate one welterweight. Ugas is a good welterweight, but like I said before, it's just gonna discredit people. I don't understand people's being infatuated with one fucking boxing company. I'm infatuated with boxing, bro. I don't give a fuck if it's on PBC, TBS, TNT, DAZN. Who really cares at this point? But Crawford will beat Ugas. He'll beat him. People always say, oh, he too small, he too small, he too small. So was Mayweather in a lot of his fights was too small. So was Austin Trout in a lot of his fights he was too small. You know what I'm saying? Andre Ward was smaller when he fought Kovalev, in some people's opinion. You can keep going on and on. Henry Armstrong was smaller than a lot of his competitors. Ray Robinson was smaller than a lot of guys that he fought. The true great ones can overcome the size differential. You know what I'm saying? So, we talk about boxing history. Everybody, that's not an excuse or that's not a reasoning why, that's only somebody can give you, oh, he just too small. He just too small. He just too small. They can't articulate nothing else. And I never understood when motherfuckers pledging allegiance to boxing companies. If that's the case, you hardcore PBC or you hardcore Top Rank of the Zone, I don't want to see you fucking swirling. I don't want to see you going to the Zone and, watching they fights and going to Top Rank, watching they fight, going to PBC, watching they fights. I don't want to see that shit. Don't watch it if you don't like it. Straight up and down. And they done created this facade that Al Heyman is PBC is for black fighters, even though Mexicans and the other get the preferential treatment over there. Don't talk about, mixing, swirling with Al Heyman no more. He not doing that. Only when it benefit him. He not making no outside the PBC network fights. Why don't they talk about how Jamal Charlo turned down 15 to fight Canelo, 7 then 10 million to fight Demetrius Andrade? If they turn down that type of money to cross the street, nigga, it's the fights you want to see ain't gonna happen. They already told you, Yordenis Ugas, dude, that you ain't crossing the street to fight Bruce Putin. Why would they let him cross the street to fight Crawford then? You know what I'm saying? This is common sense. You know what I'm saying? He just doing it. He just said it. He can't. Even if he wanted to fight Crawford, Al Heyman not gonna sign off on it. But hey, it is what it is. Let me know what you guys think. Don't forget me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. All my links there. If you got business question, inquiry, response, video requests, I'll put the article link in the description. Want to make a donation? Cash App, PayPal in the description as well too. Appreciate the love, support. One time for the one time.